Hey, welcome back to the pregame show presented by Knuckleball Prime Time here on Parkland Sports Live as we get you ready for the big football matchup between the Farmington Knights and the Sikeston Bulldogs. We got the head coach of the Farmington Knights here, Coach Erik Kruppe. Coach, I know after the ball game last Friday in Jackson, you were very happy with the progress of your team and how well you played. And I mean, you know, a couple more breaks go your way and you're riding high after a big win over Jackson. How did that transition into practice this week, and how's it been for you?
I think we've had a good week of practice. I think kids understand, it's homecoming week, you know, and so you want to be very successful during your homecoming. But we also understand that, while there's a lot of pomp and circumstance and activities for the student body, and we want them to enjoy homecoming, it's not quite right if you don't win the game on Friday night. And so I think they understand that and make sure that their focus is where it needs to be while they're enjoying all the homecoming festivities.
How was homecoming for you when you were in high school? Did you do anything special? Were you part of any kind of big deals? Were you the homecoming king?
No, that was a long time ago, and that was in the city of Chicago, so it's a little bit different than here. You don't necessarily have a community parade or things like that, so it's pretty neat to be, part of this environment where, there's a very local, community-based feel to it, and it's more than just a high school. It's the people that are part of the community, and, it's great to see everybody get fired up.
Now, I know that Fredericktown this year, and I believe last year too, tried something new where they're having their homecoming parade the Sunday before the football game. As a football coach, would that be appealing to you? Because I know coaches sometimes worry a little bit about, all the extra time that's spent on game day.
I'm just for whatever we decide to do, and then we roll with the punches, and again, you talk to your kids and you hope that they, keep the right things in their mind. They focus on what's important, and, they're going to be ready to go at 7 o'clock.
Let's get back to the game now. I want to ask you about your offensive line play and what you've seen from where these guys were heading into that first ball game to where they are now.
Oh, they've taken some really big steps forward. We knew going into this season, we were going to go as far as our offensive line took us, at least on that side of the football, because we did graduate 3 starters, some really good starters for us, and so we have some. When I say newcomers, not new to the program, but new to experience on Friday nights. We had kids that were going to step up and really be under the spotlight for the first time, and I thought they've done a really good job. Our returners, Corey Crawford, Scott Fripp, have done an excellent job, and then we've got our newcomers as well. Keaton Gibbs, Connor Farrell, Wyatt McDowell. They've all really improved throughout the course of the summer and then into the season. And we've always said we've got multiple explosive athletes to get the ball in their hands. And so it's just a matter of do we allow them to be successful? And I think playing against a team like Jackson, that is a very strong, successful ball program that has good defense, to be able to do what we did offensively. You gotta tip your cap to our offensive line for giving our guys those opportunities.
Let's switch to the other side of the ball. How's your defensive line progressed? Because probably a similar situation there too with a lot of newer players.
Yeah, from a defensive line standpoint, actually all 4 starters are brand new, so we don't have a single returning starter, and we're definitely undersized up front. We rely more on our feet and our ability to move, but I think we are taking steps forward on that side of the line of scrimmage as well. Because again, same deal. We feel very comfortable with the people in the back end that we have. A lot of those same athletes, on the offense side of the ball, get reps on the defensive side of the ball as well. And we understand that if they're able to move freely, we can be very successful.
Rain in the forecast again. I believe we've only had one really true dry week so far this year. Does that affect your play calling much, or is that more or less you kind of throw the weather out the window as long as it's not super windy, and you just kind of go with what's working? How do you approach that? Does it make much of a difference?
I think it all depends. I think if your kids can handle the wet and handle the rain and they can run the offense as is, then I don't know that it does matter that much. But if that ball is just very slippery and both sides are having really trouble hanging on to the football, then yeah, it will change how you call, because the big thing going into a game like this is we don't want to we don't want to create turnovers. We don't want to self-destruct. We need to make sure that we're efficient, control the football, and let good things happen. And so we don't want to be able to give Sikeston opportunities because of sloppy ball handling.
Having studied up on the Bulldogs, what are you seeing that they do well?
So I think they're very young. They don't return a lot of starters from last season, and I think a big chunk of that roster are underclassmen. So they're young, they're still learning, but you can see, Coach May is doing a good job with the program, taking it over and making it his program. And so they've got some talent, athletically, both offensively and defensively. They're very big up front, so that's one thing that they are. While we rely on our feet and our quickness, they've got size up front, so we can't allow them to lean on us. But it's going to take time, but I think he's doing a good job with the program.
Great. Coach, best of luck to you tonight. Thanks so much for the visit.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Erik Kruppe, head coach of the Farmington Knights. We'll have more coming up next on the Knuckleball Primetime Pregame Show right here on Parkland Sports Live.